Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank you for flying with Fire Talk Radio today. This is flight number 25. On this flight, you'll notice that we don't actually have any uh, inboard entertainment, with the exception of the last couple minutes of All Dogs Go to Heaven. So we're going to be playing that on a loop. This flight is tentatively scheduled for 1.5 hours. When we take off, I would like everyone to hold tight to their seats because we don't actually have any real runway. We're going to try to glide off of this cliff and hope that we're able to get enough updraft from the power station below us. So please hold tight, buckle in. Remember, put the oxygen on yourself before helping anybody else. We may end up needing it. They will fall here in approximately 5, 4, 3, 2.
I can only count to 4. I can only count to 4. I can only count to 4. I can only count to.
We are back.
Are we gliding this bitch off a cliff?
Hooray!
Yes,
Okay.
we are.
I just wanted to make sure I heard that fucking correctly.
So
And,
No.
sorry, Andy's mom.
So I was as I was going through that, it reminded me there was an episode. I want to say it's one of the early episodes of MacGyver from the 80s, where he was
Yes.
breaking somebody out of like a Russian camp or something like that, and he made a glider out of like PVC pipe, plastic, duct tape, obviously, and like a fan from an engine and a fan or something like that. But he couldn't actually take off, so they had to like run it off a cliff and glide, and then start the engine while they were in the air.
Haven't seen
never
MacGyver in forever.
never fails with that.
So MacGyver is one of those things. You remember that back in the day, like you watch and go, man, I could make all this cool shit that he makes, and then you look at it and go, so technically it could work theoretically, but the circumstances would have to be so perfect. Like there was one, I remember him making like a fuse, a timed fuse using like a glass rosary that he like wound around the fuse or whatever to go off, and the sun was hitting it and heated it up. And I'm like, man, if there was a cloud, like anybody that's tried to start a fire, remember when you were a kid and you tried to start a fire with a magnifying glass and how long that took, and you had to move it up and down to get it just perfect. But for him, it worked.
Yeah, and then the sun would change, and then
Yeah, the sun would change, or a
was always
freaking cloud would come by.
Paper clip in there somewhere.
yeah.
I don't know. He always had a paper clip.
Well, anything can be done with a paperclip. I actually just taught my son. Is this bad? I taught my son how to pick handcuffs with a paperclip.
No, it's a life skill.
It's a life
So
skill.
It's a life
he was-
skill.
So he found my old handcuffs, and he cuffed himself, thinking they were fake. Like they have the
Oh,
little.
no.
And I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna teach you something because I don't feel like searching through boxes to find the cuff keys. So grab the paper clip, and I hadn't done it for years, but I remember playing around, learning how to do it in the academy, and we would all play around to see who could pick their handcuffs the fastest. And so take the paper clip, you straighten it out. It works better with a bobby pin, I found out, because the metal is thicker and springier. But you stick it in, you bend it so it's a 90 degrees, and then there's a little catch in there, and you have to kind of catch it and push it up your arm and flex your arm so you catch it, and it like releases one click, and then it push it up further, releases another click. And we ended up getting it. So now that's his new favorite thing is to play with the handcuffs and try to get it to unlock with a paperclip.
Yeah.
Okay, Ryan. Sorry, I went on a tangent. You were going to give the info to get a hold of us.
Oh, was I? I don't fucking know what I was doing. So our website is firetalkradio.com. Come check us out there. We are all over the place on streaming services. Go under our contact us page. Find what works for you. You can always send us an email at firetalknetwork@gmail.com, and our voicemail is 814-380-9820. Leave us something. We'll play it. But just remember, facts are not your feelings. So if
Well, as
you
Ben
get
Shapiro
butthurt,
says, facts don't care about your feelings.
um, have you listened to Tom McDonald at all?
I know the name. I don't think I've listened to him.
No.
He he's a new independent. He's doing rap, which I'm not. I've never been like truly rap. Like, oh my god. But you have to check him out on YouTube. I was listening to their newest song, New World Order, and it's very factual of how people are, and it kind of makes a whole lot of sense. And like it's to the point to where it's on YouTube and it's on their hit list, but it's invisible to their hit list, which is kind of messed up.
Mm.
Like you'll see which number they are because you'll see the numbers before and after it, but it's not there. It's like damn, that just sucks. Um, but again, yeah, check us out. Always our music is brought to you by Psycho Stick. God love those guys. Um, they had a. I actually watched them on TikTok. They got the drummer these giant drumsticks to goof around with. I was like,
Okay.
that's just entertaining.
Yeah.
But we'll have to pull that eventually and check that out. Check out the guys.
Yeah, pull that and
Um,
yeah, you still need to talk to them about getting them on to, see how things are going with them, how they're
I sent them a
um
message. They just haven't replied yet. Um, love to have them on. Um, this at least this time us having them on. I don't think it'll break our server.
that's right.
I hope not.
Last time we had Psycho Stick on all those years ago to have an interview with. Our chat room crashed. Mixler had a seizure, and Skype just died.
Yeah.
Like it kept kicking. Either it kicked you, or it kicked Ginger, or it kicked me, and then it would restart, and then it's like trying to get everybody back. It was just like,
Yeah,
this
it
is
was
just a
it was
cluster.
bad. It was train wreck.
Yeah.
It was fun. They're great. It's just with the chat going on, it just everything the way it was back in the day is not the way it is now, which is fantastic because everything is better integrated.
I
Like
I
if
love
people joined
this.
our chat right now, it wouldn't crash us because people would be just in there just bullshit on the side, or they can chat in on our YouTube page. Um,
I love this. So for those that don't know, I know we talk about this. So we use a service called Riverside to do that we all connect with. It does our recordings. It records us all separately so I can edit us together and everything. Basically, what they did is they did what I used to have to do myself or you, which is I would have a computer for
God.
myself that we would stream on. Then I'd have another computer for Skype for me and Jeff when we did the Creeper cast. Then I had to have another computer if we had a guest on with another Skype. I think at one point I had 5 computers going with Skype on all of them so that I could have everybody on and independently be able to adjust so that otherwise we all Skype together and there's no separating anybody.
Yeah,
If somebody,
well, the thing is, it ate up all the bandwidth too, doing it all together versus doing it all separate.
Yo,
yeah,
dog, I heard you. I heard you like to Skype, so I can got a computer so you can Skype while you Skype.
Right?
I'm terrible at those.
it was
Oh my
it was
god.
so it was so rough. And then the other part that was really weird is, then I had to do these things called mix minuses on the uh soundboard
Bullshit.
and keep track of everyone. So basically I sent like everybody could hear me and I could hear everyone, but then like Ryan, if you were on, I had to make it so everybody could hear you, but then turn down you to yourself so you didn't get feedback, and I had to keep everything
Yeah.
straight. And
Oh.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
and
a
back
hot
then,
net.
a lot. If you had a mixer, it was all analog too, so it was literally a lot of none of the digital mixers now. Um, because my wife is
You're
actually
like, oh
looking at
God,
getting me
which
one of the
knob did
new
I turn?
oh,
Behringer
so
digital
much has
mixers. And I'm
so
like,
much
yeah,
has changed in the last what, 10
decade.
years? Yeah,
Yeah.
10 years.
Good
And
lord, have we been doing this long? I know we took like a very long break. 'Cause
Creepercast,
life.
our last one was in 2012 is when we ended. We did it from 2008 to 2012.
Did
And
we?
then
Good lord.
I took off from 2012 until we started this. Everything, even building the website. I used to fly through WordPress building the website. Now I'm looking at WordPress like a monkey doing a math problem. And I'm like, I don't
I
understand
will
any
have
of
to
this
say
anymore.
building the website got a lot easier when I figured out the Elementor tool. So if you guys use WordPress, Elementor is a free tool. You can get the paid version or do the free version. But that's where you can do all your snap togethers, which is nice. So you can just snap in pictures and link them and everything. I eventually will be doing that. I where I work a lot of overtime, so I'm usually in this seat 90% of my day. Um,
So,
that's about it.
but here's some good news. I guess good news. Me and Ryan are now free from COVID again. Now,
Oh, good lord! Yeah, that's why we didn't do a show last week. We all got COVID.
Oh, yeah,
completely different states. Like we're like hundreds of miles apart. We both get it.
Fucking got COVID. Fucking transmit that shit through the interwebs.
Oh,
That
I
was
have
fucking
like a
fantastic.
lot of people that have it or they got over it, and yeah, it's bad. I'm
Well, it's like,
surprised I haven't gotten
so
it. I think I probably
I
had
got
it and
it.
just not known,
I
honestly.
had it.
This
Well, I got it the 10th. I was feeling like shit on the 10th, right after the show. Um, I got up and I went to work and I was like, fuck this, I'm leaving. And I literally crawled into bed, went to sleep. I woke up the next day and I was like, still felt like shit. Went and took more sleep meds, slept again, called off, and then slept again. And then like that Thursday, I went and we had gotten some COVID tests. I went and took a COVID test. My wife had to take a COVID test at her work. She has to take a COVID test twice a week. The first time she went, she was negative and she was fine, but then the next day she found out she was positive. So I went and took another test, and if I wasn't positive, I was like,
yeah, I
so then we had to notify the schools, and the schools all fucking. My daughter goes back to school for the first time since the 11th of January. She goes back to school on Monday, the 31st,
Man.
because of the preschool rules, and it's like that's dumb, but okay, because she's
yeah
not vaccinated. And I said, I am not talking about you, my daughter's vaccination statuses, period. Well, if you don't want to tell us, then you can't be back for 2 weeks. So I'm like, fine,
yeah. Well,
don't care. And that was the same thing with my son, but he was able to go back to school on the 25th, but as long as he didn't have symptoms. But he had to
Yeah.
wear a mask for the week. I said,
I
it
can't
he
keep up
elects to
with.
wear a mask. He has the option where he doesn't have to wear a mask, and I don't give a shit if he wears a mask or not. But he feels comfortable at school wearing a mask because he knows it slightly helps. He knows it doesn't help 100%. He understands that,
Yeah.
With
and I'm
this, it
like,
helps like 5% with this
yeah,
one. Even the
yeah. So
CD,
he's like,
even the CDC and FDA said that masks
yeah.
outside of N95 don't do
So,
anything.
but he feels comfortable wearing a mask. I think he does it so he can be a smartass under the mask and nobody knows.
Mm.
Um, that's on God there. I believe that's what he does. Um,
Yeah,
because
well,
when he's home, he's a smartass, and it just makes me go, "This is why you wear a mask."
Yeah.
so so for us, I went to practice on Thursday 2 weeks ago from today, so I have to look at a calendar. So that would have been the 13th, and the 13th I felt fine. I didn't think anything of it. I had a little bit of a runny nose, thinking it was just because it was 0 degrees out and um
You go from hot to
hot to
cold, and your
cold.
nose
Yeah, you
runs.
get runny
Yeah.
noses.
Yeah.
Um, and then all of a sudden, probably about maybe 5, 6 in the morning, Friday morning, I wake up and my I like was like chilled. Like I was so cold and my throat hurt, and I had like a plugged nose, a plugged runny nose, and I'm like, okay, something's wrong. So I ask I look around to try to find a COVID test. There was no COVID tests in the area. Like no stores had it Friday morning. And I'm like, I'm not going to practice unless I know if
I
it's
had,
COVID or if it's just a cold. So my parents, who had a bunch of COVID tests, brought one over to me. I tested positive. Let the school know. I had to let the school know because I'm a coach.
Yeah.
Um,
sure.
and again, because of I got the vaccine, back in April, but I never got a booster, so I had to take 2 weeks off. So 2 weeks would be going back today.
Yeah, because they were
Um,
talking about today that they are fully vaccinated is not fully vaccinated anymore. I guess.
yeah, it
Yeah,
has
it's
something to do with
weird.
how long ago you got the booster or you got COVID and
Yeah,
whatever. But so anyway,
I
I'm
just
like,
think
all
it's
right, well, I'll
funny.
take 2 weeks off. Then all of a sudden, my parents asked, well, does my son Chase have it? And because they wanted to take him out skiing that weekend. So Saturday, I'm like, well, let's give him a COVID test and see. Give him a COVID test on Saturday. He felt fine and he tested negative. Sunday, I get a call from them and go, Chase is shivering and he's got a really bad headache. And I'm like, oh, uh,
He's got it.
yep, give him another test and bring him home. And so he tested positive on Sunday, the next day.
Yeah.
Then he comes home and my wife ended up getting it. So I got it, then my son, then my wife, then my two parents got it. Like it basically both households ended up getting it because
Yeah.
Yeah,
of
right.
my son. Um, and um, it the thing is it wasn't too bad. We talk about how bad it is. Like I basically the worst part was, the 2 days like you, I got a fever for 2 days. I slept a lot. I watched TV.
You just
Um,
felt like crap. That,
you just felt
like
it felt like
general
the
crap.
flu.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
Yeah.
felt
You
like
feel
the
like
flu.
crap.
So, so
It
when
felt
I
like the
so
flu. But what sucks
no no
afterwards is the residuals because then that Tuesday, so that was Friday, that Tuesday I tested myself again. I was negative, but for the next week and I still have a runny nose. It's like having a freaking cold.
so my wife, when I told my wife I had left early and I wasn't feeling well, so she tells everybody at her work, "Oh, he took off for the man flu."
What?
Yeah. So I was accused of the man flu, and then when she found out I had COVID, she goes, "I have to say I'm sorry because I thought you had the man flu," and I'm like, even if I had the man flu, that is still the flu. That is just me feeling like absolute shit.
Well,
Well,
you want to
yeah.
hear
One of
something even
my
crazier? Oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I had my birthday party on Saturday, but some people didn't come. But one friend, her husband got COVID, and he had zero symptoms. He just had to stay home, and he's all like grouchy because he can't go anywhere or do anything, and um, he works in like law enforcement, so at a facility. So he works in the COVID part there. So he got it, but he has no symptoms. He's just grouchy because he's like "Ugh, so bored." But he's not sick. He feels fine, and that's it. There was nothing. And then
Well, the
so
hard part with this
yes,
is he vaccinated?
yeah,
Yeah. So, talking to a lot of my friends that had it, the ones that are vaccinated and have the booster, they got it and they tested positive, but they had no symptoms. So they were spreading it without knowing it, to where the ones like me that didn't get the or I got the vaccine, back in the spring, but didn't get boosted, got the symptoms, so I knew that I was. And but my wife, what's crazy though is she works at a hospital. She told them, and their reply was, "Well, do you have a fever?" Well, no, I had the fever a couple days ago because she was off for 5 days anyway on her
yeah,
long weekend. She's like, "No, I had a fever a few days ago." They go, "Well, come on into work and we'll." Um, they didn't even give her a test. They just like checked her temperature and go, "Oh, you don't have a fever. You can work."
Yep.
And I'm like, "Okay."
No, because they're struggling. They're struggling to keep people, and because it's ridiculous anymore. Um,
But yet I can't be around, And then, we actually, our wrestling team, because I know I had to catch it from someone on the team because I live at home. I don't go anywhere. My work is from
yeah.
home. Everything's from home. And then I go to wrestling practice. Like, those are the two places I go. I don't go anywhere else that I could have
yeah,
caught it from. My son is homeschooled. He's not around other kids. So the only place I could have caught it from is there. And then afterwards, like five of the kids on our team ended up coming down with it. So they're like, "Yeah, we're closing down wrestling for the next 4 days and letting this kind of burn
yes,
itself out." But like I say, it
yes,
wasn't for me. It wasn't that bad. And I think with this new variant, everybody's gonna get it because it's wildfire. It's like, and then the vaccines may stop you from getting symptoms, but you're still carrying it and spreading it without knowing it.
yeah.
Oh,
Because
not
I
what
felt
Rachel Maddow
terrible.
says on MSNBC. When you get the vaccine, it stops right there. Fucking cunt ass liar.
Yeah, with the new governor of Virginia. Oh my God, is like, oh yeah, I'm gonna make this law, even though people now dug and said that he made this law before he was sworn in, so technically it really doesn't exist. But he was like, okay, schools are no longer mandatory; they have to wear masks. I was like,
He
what?
made that. He made that. He signed that into law right as he got sworn in.
Right.
Yeah,
So
and
he
it's
was
just
doing his
like,
executive orders. Yeah, no, because I was watching. Because DC, the mayor of DC was having a hissy fit. Why is the Virginia now doing this? I was like, because you let Virginia slip out of your fingers, and now they're gone red.
yeah, I'm just like, what? Well, my kids' school, they still require
Oh
masks.
yeah.
So
Well,
yeah, I was just like, that's not going to change. But I was like, really? Ugh.
well,
I don't.
my son's school. I mean, his thing is his thing was, and that's part of what he ran on, was let the parents decide. Um, and
The,
we're having that battle up here in Michigan of we don't want. It's so annoying because like our school district is letting the parents decide, and and they're doing tests to stay and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
and then we go to another school district to compete, and we all have to wear masks because that school district, they said everyone has to wear masks regardless. And you know, and like I say, the hard part now
It,
is with this new virus, the masks aren't helping anyway
Yeah.
because um and the studies are showing the best thing actually to do if you can is literally open a window and air the place out because you need to lower the amount of
well, I'm not fucking doing that
concentration in
right
the
now
room.
with the Arctic vortex coming through the Northeast.
Oh, I
It's
know. It is
fucking negative
freezing.
three
This
right now.
Oh,
morning, this
I
morning it was
know.
like 11 degrees outside, and we walked to
Oh,
school, and I can't feel my face.
oh, it was -3, so I went and
Yes.
started my car like 10 minutes earlier than I normally do, so I knew it was warm. My kid comes out, he looks at me, he goes, "This is a weird cold." I said, "This is a painful cold. This is not a cold that you want to be outside in. So this
Yeah.
is why we sit in the car for the
The
bus."
as the saying goes, the air hurts my face. Why do I live someplace where the air hurts my face?
Well,
Well,
it
I mean, you
doesn't
can
hurt
live
in
in
the
Florida
summer.
right now where it's 40 degrees and it's raining iguanas. Like no, because
In Florida, yes.
there was a news report saying that because it's gotten to 40 degrees, all the iguanas have become paralyzed because of the drop in temperature, so they're falling out of the
They're just
trees.
falling out of the trees.
I'm like, well, that's fucking fantastic. You
So
could be
they're
walking in a park and get
so now
smacked
they're
in the face with an iguana.
so now they're drop iguanas.
The drop,
Yes,
yeah, drop
drop
bears, drop
iguanas.
iguanas.
Drop iguanas.
Oh god.
Oh,
I mean, it's just that is just as bad as Nancy Pelosi deciding to go back on her word and rerun for fucking office again.
Yeah,
oh
next
yeah.
week here it's supposed to be like 60 degrees. I was like, oh, everybody's gonna get sick.
Oh yeah, oh
It's
yeah.
gonna be like 60 degrees in like Virginia. It's like, oh, okay. Just make up your mind.
No, I think Mother Nature's on her period or
I live in
menopause.
Michigan.
One of the
Mother
two
Nature's
things.
always on her. So we
Well,
just keep.
you have the lake effect more
We
to
have the
worry about than
so lake effect snow. I remember uh, back in 2008, before I left Michigan to go to Oregon for a number of years. Um, where I lived up in northern Michigan was right off of Lake Michigan. That lake effect snow for the month of like halfway through January until like maybe about 3 weeks. So January into February, it snowed over a foot every
Ugh.
single day.
Phew. Oh, I
Every
couldn't handle
day,
that.
they were running out of salt for the plows. They were like plow trucks were just going all the time. Um, you would clear off your car in the morning before work, clear it off at lunch just so that you didn't have to shovel it off when you got out of work. It was so, oh God, I was so happy to leave there. That lake effect snow just drives me nuts.
Yeah, Virginia's like middle of the road. It's like great. It's like, okay, it's gonna do this or it's gonna do that. Like we don't get terrible snow, but it's annoying because it spits it. And then it's like, okay, do they close school? Do they not close school? And they can't make up their mind when they're gonna close school. It's not at the same time every day it snows, oh, we're gonna be off. It could be like 5 in the afternoon. It could be 10 o'clock at
what
night. And I'm
sucks is
like,
my
Michigan,
kids
they
are in
don't
two
close school
different
for
school
shit.
districts. My kids right now are in two different school districts because the preschool's actually in a different school district than my son's elementary school. So if her school could get a 2 hour delay where my kid's school doesn't, and it's like it's bullshit. Well, at
yeah.
least they're consistent. 6 o'clock is when they make the call. Six
Yeah, I
a.m. is
think
when they make
five.
the
I think
call. Whether it's
four or five technically
Oh, I
for
can remember
the city. I think.
back in the day, listening to the
waking
radio
up
at
early
five in
for
the
the radio
waking
or
up,
the news to
yes,
see if,
and they
and
go
then
through
realize
all of
that you
them.
don't have school, that you struggle to go back to bed.
No,
Yeah.
like you listen to it, and every other school district around you is called off, and you're like, what in the fuck? Come on.
Oh yeah, I fucking hated that shit. It's like
Come on.
every
Why
school
can't
around,
we
I'm
have it
like,
off?
is 2 hour delay, and I'm like, us regular time. I was like,
Um,
fucking bullshit, and we had to take the bus too. It was like, this is bullshit.
Oh, and then they
Yeah,
do it by like alphabetical order. So like
Yes.
Prince
Yes.
William County's at the end, and it's just like, really? I have to wait?
Yes.
Oh, of course, Fauquier County. That well, they have different
Now it's
elevations in
now it's
Fauquier
nice. They
County.
send
So
out like yeah, now
No,
it's
it's nice
nice.
with
They send out
Google.
like a mass text and it
yeah,
says no school tomorrow and like, oh cool. No,
I get a phone
that
call, I get a text message, and I get an email. I get all three.
yeah.
I only get I get I get a text and a phone call, and I'm like, and it's always like they catch me like as I'm starting to wake up, and I'm like, who the fuck is calling me at 6
Yeah.
in the morning?
I know.
Mine's on Do Not
Damn it.
Disturb, so I won't get a phone call until 7:30.
Oh no,
And
my
it'll
alarm
ring and
is
it won't
set
go
for like
off.
5 a.m. All right.
All right.
Let's
What do you
get
got
into
for us
this
today,
thing.
Ryan?
Oh, little quick things. We got like mass monkeys running around fucking Danville that they had to euthanize 3 of them, but they caught the rest, I guess. Um, that was weird. We're gonna talk about Drake putting hot sauce in his condom. Um,
Yeah.
you just can't have you just can't. I mean, you got to have hot junk, right? Um,
The
fuck
Queen
Neil
strips
Young.
yeah, okay. We got to talk about Neil Young real quick. So,
We'll get to
first off,
that. Oh, and then we're gonna make fun of Joe Biden trying to force a Supreme Court to quit so they can nominate somebody else
first
before
off,
the midterm.
okay, before we get into that, first off, here's Joe Biden. For those that haven't heard, Joe Biden calling Peter Ducey an
Son of a
SOB.
bitch. Yeah, that was the whole thing. Like Peter Ducey actually got a phone call after this saying that, oh, sorry for calling you a son of a bitch. I didn't think you heard me, kind of thing.
It was like
you
a
got fucking
non-apology.
caught.
Yeah. So
You didn't get an apology.
It was
There
a
was no
non-apology.
apology.
So here he is.
Taking place with the political liability.
That's a great asset. More inflation. What a stupid son of a bitch.
Yeah, I mean,
So
if it were
what?
Trump, man, he would have been raked over coals.
Well, no. Here's the thing: is they did rake him over the coals when it was Trump. Everybody.
Oh yeah.
Trump did the same thing. Called somebody. He's saying something like, "Well, he's a son of a bitch," and everybody from CNN about you don't attack the media and all this stuff. Now he's just voicing out loud what everybody thinks, and I'm like, are you kidding me? The problem with this isn't even what he said, because he just talking out loud. It's the media's reaction to it, in contrast to how they are.
What was great is
with the
Peter
previous
Ducey didn't even.
administration.
But he said it
Ducey
so
didn't even
calmly.
hear
He
it.
just looks around and he's just like saying things. He's just like, oh, you know. He
Yeah.
was like, he
Well, the
wasn't
thing
like
is,
he was
Peter Ducey
directing
was-
it at
was
somebody.
out of the room by the time he responded to his question. So
Right.
the reporters that are all with them were like, "Hey, did you hear what the dumbass said to you?" And they had to play the video, and it was kind of a delayed, like 20-minute reaction of, "That fucker called me a son of a bitch."
So like, wait.
It's one of those. Here's the best part. Because it was on a hot mic and it was during a press conference, it's now in the presidential record.
Oh yeah.
That line is in the presidential records, which is hilarious.
For like the last couple days, YouTube has been grabbing all those videos and trying to censor them, and then someone keeps putting back up the uncensored version now, and I'm like, you just got to leave it alone because he did it. You can't say that he didn't do it now.
You can't unsay it. You have said the words.
So
The words
it
left
was
your
just
mouth.
it was this is such a weird last 2 weeks. Everything is weird. I mean, so you have Kyle Rittenhouse is trying to get his gun back. He will get his gun back.
Oh God. Yeah.
And people are going crazy over the fact that has to file, and like, well, it's his property. He was found not guilty based on law to get all of his belongings, including the firearm. He says he's going to destroy it. Who knows if he is or not? But
He technically doesn't have to.
No.
He can transport it. All he has to do is put it in a case, no ammo, everything separate. He can transport it as long as he transports it safely.
He's 19 now. He's legal to own it. So, but like I say, the news is weird with that. What else? You have Russia. Okay. Russia. Going after.
I'm going to put severe economic sanctions on Putin.
Well, the worst part is Biden last week, because he talked that back, because last week he was asked about Russia, and he said what he said is, if they don't make a major encroachment into what country was it?
Ukraine.
Ukraine. If they don't make a major encroachment, as long as they don't make anything major in Ukraine, it's like major. Like if they step over the line, that's invading. Like
yeah, that's it.
They have. Did you see the Russian tanks on the border with the rockets? I'm sorry, that's intense.
They're basically all like, I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you.
That's
oh God,
that's exactly what they're doing.
That's right now. They're like they're playing that game like you used to play with your siblings, and and then our response is we're gonna put sanctions. Sanctions? Are you kidding me? No,
they haven't done anything yet.
Like, you don't sanction an invading force or someone that's threatening to invade. You put your force in.
So England tried to send over supplies to the Ukraine, but their plane disappeared. But also Germany has cut off airspace
because they're
to France and England.
Because they're just like, nope.
Well, the hard part with Germany is Germany gets their natural gas and their oil and stuff
from Russia.
So
yeah, that's why
if they stand up to Russia, they're going to be cut off.
Oh yeah, that's the whole point. Germany's looking at we don't want to fuck ourselves any more than we are, so we're gonna take the big guy side there.
They're like, we're just gonna not do things. We're staying out of it.
And then then Biden says, well, NATO is so fractured right now that we don't, who knows what we're going to do with NATO. You don't say that. That's literally telling the bully, I don't know if I'm going to fight back or not.
Yeah, be like, stop saying things that I don't think Biden's allowed to say things out loud anymore.
Right.
Okay,
right.
So
can somebody just stop him from talking?
So Biden needs his handler with a fucking duct tape to be put on his mouth. Trump needed someone to take his goddamn phone away from his Twitter account. So that is what Trump got. I respect Trump as president of what he did, what he sought out. Do I feel that someone should have taken and proofread everything he put on Twitter? Abso-fucking-lutely. Think that would have been a lot of his headache gone.
The problem with Trump is, 80% of his tweets, he was tweeting from the toilet.
Oh, yeah. Oh no,
Like,
he was doing
He's
that
like,
from the
"I'm
shooter. He
bored."
was sitting there taking a giant douche, like fuck you all. I'm
yeah,
like, oh no, man.
yeah. That's the thing. And I worked for a company that like I made it very clear to them, we need to stop having our reporters doing the tweets themselves and stuff. They have to run everything through somebody to make before a tweet goes out.
Yeah,
Because you don't want somebody just like tweeting, that's representing the country or representing a company to just be tweeting from the toilet. And
Yeah.
that's what it was. And the thing with Trump is, I agree with you. A lot of his policies and stuff, I agree with. What got him into trouble was his tweets and was his mouth. And
yeah. No, what's going on? I mean, I don't know if you saw what was going on with Iran. Also, Iran is actually threatening, wanting to have Trump arrested for
oh
the
yes,
assault on on the dude
well,
on
and
the
they're
terrorist.
trying to assassinate him.
Yeah, and okay,
They put
yes,
a
he
hit
is a
out on
former
him.
president. Fucking Biden should say, hey, no, I don't care if you don't like him or not, but you can't do that.
Right. Yeah. And
Or at
all of
least
this.
don't talk about it out loud for everybody to know
Right.
what you want to do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I mean, and so we have that. Russia is also doing naval exercises off the coast of Ireland.
Yeah,
Ireland, who
they're out
has
there,
no
but
army.
so the U.S. Navy's actually got a few ships in the Mediterranean headed for the Black Sea
Black Sea, yes.
Yeah, the Black Sea.
to sit there. And I'll tell you right now, the ones that they're hinting at that are going all have anti-tank missiles on them. And I'm like, well, this shit's gonna get fucking weird.
Yeah.
So like nobody sneezed the wrong way.
Well, the
This
thing
is just
is, I think what it is right now is our president does not sound competent and does not sound threatening
no,
enough to put
they're
Russia
testing
in their
him.
place.
They're flat out testing him. They're testing this whole situation.
Right.
But they know Biden's incompetent, so they're gonna like, we're gonna poke the bear. Are you a cub? Are
Or are
you
you
a
a
polar bear?
grizzly? Yeah.
Are you a grizzly? Or are you Yogi?
I was gonna say
And
polar bears will mess somebody up. I had
polar
I had an
bears.
aunt that lived in Alaska, and she's like, "Yeah, the polar bears were no freaking joke. Like, you see one, you lock all the doors, close all the curtains, you let them eat your trash cans. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
no joke. They
I
will mess somebody up."
my uncle said the same thing about the Kodiaks. He said you walk around and he would carry a 45 with him, and he said you might fire off a few shots to leave one for yourself.
Yeah, because they don't go down in like 3 bullets.
No.
So yeah, no
It's
bears are no joke.
um
I mean,
I mean I ran into quite a few black bears, but they're black bears. Like, if they
You
wanted
just
to
make
hurt me,
enough
they could.
noise,
Yeah,
and
if they wanted
they'll
to hurt
run.
me, they would,
Yeah.
or they could. But for the most part, they're skittish enough that you make some noise, you yell, you bang, and they take off.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, most other ones.
Although you want to know a scary situation, when I was in Oregon, we had a cougar that moved in. We lived on the outskirts of Astoria in like a wooded area, wooden apartment complex. Be an old World War II barracks, but there was a cougar that was like killing people's dogs and stuff, and people would see it at night. So when you left, you like sprinted from to your car because
Oh,
there
yeah.
was a couple times that it went after people
Oh, yeah. It's like
and they were able to get inside before. So it
there was
that was
a fox around our the elementary school here where my kids go. I had pulled up to pick up my son, and I look up and I'm like, that's not a small dog. And it was beautiful. And another mom got a better picture of it because it went around the school, but I think it was confused on where it goes because it kept going back and forth from like the field to the school to the houses, back to the field. But we do have foxes around here, but it was big. I was like
I
I was like,
I
it
was
was like a small German Shepherd. That's how big this fox was. I was like, it was gorgeous though, gorgeous,
there was one
pretty
time
orange.
I was young. I was like 13 maybe, and I was at deer camp. So for those of you that don't know what deer camp is, in a lot of states, including Michigan, it's really popular. You don't just go out deer hunting. A bunch of guys get together and we set up a tent and big army tent and you have deer camp, or you go to someone's cabin and you all get drunk and or if you're old enough to get drunk, I couldn't at that time. My dad wouldn't let me.
Oh,
Uh, you get drunk and then the next day you go out with high powered rifles.
I got something completely off topic. So
Because
it
we're on
was
topic.
so. Oh yeah, completely fucking off topic. No, this is like way left field topic. All right, so you know how we lost so far? What? Meatloaf, Louis Anderson.
Yes.
And
Knock on wood. Bill
there's
Clinton is
somebody
going in
else.
for a heart transplant.
Oh. I don't know. I don't want to wish anybody Clinton, but
I don't wish him to be death, but it would be
No,
it'd be
there was
Hillary's
somebody
way to get him
else.
off the Jeffrey Epstein list.
yeah,
There was somebody else too, but I can't remember. I see it on Facebook and then that's it, and then it goes out of my mind. So
But anyway, so I'm up there at deer camp, and we have the shitter out in the woods. So you have to walk like maybe 50, 100 yards to the shitter, which is basically like a hole in the ground with
yeah,
a stoop over it with a that we put a toilet seat on. And so I'm out there with my flashlight. Mind you, this isn't like now where we have like these nice high powered LED flashlights that you can see everything around you. I had like a dollar store. Remember those dollar store flashlights that take C batteries but barely
Yeah,
shine?
and then
yeah,
they
yeah.
would come with the C
And you had to
batteries, but
shake
the
them
C
and
batteries that were in there probably gave you like an hour's worth of power.
Yeah, and then you
yeah,
had
and
to
you had
like
to
beat on it to get it to like come on.
make it. Yeah. So I'm out there with that. And because we had bears and this is in Michigan's Upper Peninsula, because we had bears and coyotes and wolves and stuff like that, um, I took the pistol out with me, and all of a sudden I'm going to the bathroom and I'm hear something, and I shine the flashlight because I'm sitting down, number two, and I shine the flashlight, and all of a sudden I see some eyes looking at me. I see another set of eyes. And I'm thinking,
Oof.
oh shit, there's wolves around.
I'm sure you finished your shit real quick, didn't you?
Well, let's just say I had no problem getting it out. And it was a good thing the pants were off because otherwise I would have needed my brown pants. So anyway, and it was two coyotes that come up that evidently, were smelling the
Oh
latrine.
yeah.
And they came to investigate and they looked at me and I'm shaking. I pull up the pistol like, okay, I don't know what to do. I'm 13 years old. And so I started like shining the flashlight at them and waving it around and banging on stuff. And eventually they ended up running off. And I'm still sitting there like, I don't know when to move. I don't know.
Yeah, because you don't know where they are. They know where you are.
Right.
But yeah.
You know, you're popping a squat still.
Yeah.
Ass cheeks hanging out.
I come back. I sprinted back through the woods, tripping over stuff. I get back. I'm out of breath. And so, That was my coyote. I'll tell you later on another episode about the bears. When I was up in Canada. So
Da bears.
the bears.
The Bears. Shoot.
So getting us back on topic.
You know what? Was it? What Super Bowl's coming up, right? This Sunday,
guess.
next
Oh,
Sunday.
yeah,
I don't
I
pay
forgot
attention.
about that. I don't
Yeah.
pay
well,
attention
no,
to
I
sports,
completely,
so
I
I
didn't
don't
really
know.
give a shit either until I found out who the halftime show was. This is
Okay.
every Gen X's dream. It's Eminem,
Justin Bieber.
Snoop,
Oh.
Mary J. Blige, and Dr. Dre.
Dang, we're going back to the 90s.
I
Oh,
know,
yeah.
right?
It's like, I was like, oh shit. You're gonna see every old stoner come out of the fucking woodwork for this shit.
Did
They
you
probably
see,
want to go to the Super Bowl just to see that, not the game.
that would be
Oh,
the
yeah.
only reason
Oh,
I would
no,
go to the
that is
That might be the
probably-
only reason I watch the Super Bowl.
That's the only. That is the exact only reason. I'll actually have the game on my phone so I know where it's at, and then as soon as I know the halftime show's coming up, I'm fucking putting it on my TV. I'm like, I'm watching this shit in high def.
Do you listen to Joe Rogan? Snoop was on there and
Yeah.
he was awesome on Joe. Oh my God. And
Joe's fascinated that Snoop Dogg pays a dude to roll his blunts.
yes.
Well, why wouldn't he? I mean,
Yeah, if
that's
I had
really
the
a
money-
high-paying
Dude.
job. Why
Oh,
do it
no,
yourself
to
when you
be-
could just have somebody else do it and you just have to pick it up and smoke it? You
This
know?
dude, no, this dude's got what? He's got. I think his salary's like almost $50,000, full health benefits and retirement plan to roll Snoop Dogg's blunts. I'm like,
I could
need
do
that fucking
that.
job.
I know, I can
know,
do
I
that.
know.
I could do that job.
I don't
Easy.
smoke, but I can roll. But I don't
That's
smoke.
it. Wait, all I gotta do is roll you a blunt. Shit, I'll have you 5 in like 2 minutes, less than 2 minutes. There you go.
Pick your flavor.
Oh man, but yeah, he was on there and he was talking about his own strain of weed on there and he was talking about
Oh, yeah.
his Joe
I actually
Joe
have.
introduced him to his dog, whose
Oh,
name
yeah.
is Snoop. It was awesome.
I actually have green crack up in my stash. I actually have 2 vape vials of it, and it's fucking fantastic. That is
I might have to
And
try
then
it. I never
it's
I've never tried it.
it's definitely a mellow. It's definitely now you know why fucking he's always mellow half the time.
So he's an indica guy.
No, that's a sativa.
Sativa doesn't mellow you out.
Oh, this one fucking will mellow you out, but it will keep you up and going. It's just it gives you that mellow mindset, which is nice.
Yeah. Did we talk about this? What happened with Spotify? Are we on Spotify?
He's on Spotify, yeah.
Are
I'm
we
Spotify.
though?
Yes.
Are we on? We are on Spotify.
Yes. We are
Okay.
on Spotify.
So, yeah, Neil Young.
I haven't gotten
tried
it to where
threatening-
our videos are on Spotify yet, but I have it where our podcast is on Spotify.
Okay. So yeah, the Neil Young threatened Spotify. Either because Joe's been having a lot of doctors and scientists on talking about the vax and about COVID, and they're going against the CDC guidelines are and stuff, which I think is great because
Oh yeah.
you need to hear both sides of everything. And Neil Young Spotify to that either Joe goes or he goes because he thinks Joe's pushing misinformation. And Spotify said to Neil Young, all right, see ya. It took him like a day to say, okay, well, we made the decision. Neil Young, you're off, you're gone. And then come to find out, Spotify is like 70% of Neil Young's streaming audience.
Yeah,
I guess he should have put his money where his mouth is, but he did not.
fucking Neil Young put all his chips in the fucking pot and lost.
You know, but I mean, Joe Rogan has like 10 million subscribers on. You think Spotify's going to get rid of him?
Spotify's Joe Rogan's main host. One of his main, like when you think podcasting, he has both his video and his audio show on Spotify.
And it's only on Spotify now. He doesn't have it on
No,
YouTube or anything
it's backed
anymore.
up to YouTube. It is still backed up to YouTube, but it's primary Spotify.
Oh, I thought Spotify made him take it off YouTube.
I think he has it on there, but I don't think it's like the full show. I think it's like segments,
Oh, little clips.
sections of the show. I think that's about all they. I think all he does for YouTube. But yeah, no, main show primary Spotify. Spotify pays him to have his show on there.
Oh, he makes bank with contract with Spotify. His endorsements. That's why whenever you listen to his podcast, you have to go through like 5 minutes of him reading off.
Fucking Christ. 5 minutes of ads.
And
5 minutes of
disclaimers and
No
Yeah.
disclaimers, just ads.
just ads. He's like, this is brought to you by this and brought to you by Joe Rogan Podcast is brought to you
Yeah.
by, and it's like skip. I mean, I love
I
Joe, but
do
5 minutes.
I do have Alpha Brain. I did try Alpha Brain and I do enjoy it. I
still
will
need
agree
to try
that.
that. I still need to try that.
Ginger, the Alpha Brain would be good for you too.
wait, what? Well, I don't even know what that is.
It's an herbal supplement for memory and focus.
Nootropics. It's like herbal and vitamins and stuff like that to help your brain.
Yeah, I need that. I forget
Yeah,
shit
so-
all the time. It's like,
Yeah, you can get Amazon. You can get a 90-day supply for like I think it's like $30 or $40.
I need to. I need to get back to a psychiatrist so that I can get back on my Adderall. Though, man, I felt so good when they prescribed that to me, and my brain like didn't feel foggy or anything. And then regular doctor wouldn't continue it, and he said I have to go and see a psychiatrist, and I'm like, oh, come on.
yeah, certain meds they don't. Certain doctors won't. You gotta
Yeah,
go back to
especially
the.
Control.
Yeah, you gotta go to the psych doctor.
Yeah,
Like
so,
I couldn't even get Vicodin because Virginia passed the law where narcotics has to be sent in via computer from the doctor's office. Well, my
Yep.
dentist doesn't. They could only write. They don't have a way to do it electronically, and I'm like, so I had the prescription, but I couldn't even. Nobody would fill it. I'm like, ugh.
yeah,
I don't take them all the time. It's just like for my back or like yeah, it hurts really bad or something like that. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm like,
You know
Actually,
what?
I still
man.
have.
crazy
I
though. When
still
I was
have,
in when I was in college, and I was in college, the doctors there, they would prescribe me Vicodin for everything, like, well, hydrocodone. Sorry, the generic. They would
Yeah.
prescribe that, like, oh, I
I mean,
twisted
I'll
my
take
ankle.
either.
Oh, yeah, I twisted my ankle. Oh, here, take 2 weeks of this. Here, take 2 weeks of this. It
Oh,
didn't matter what it was.
yeah, because
When I
back
left when I
then they
left
didn't
college,
realize the after effects of how controlling that drug was. It was, oh,
Well,
here's a heavy pain narcotic.
and I think it comes down to the individual, because I never got addicted to it, even though I was
I didn't
taking them.
either. I just take them.
Yeah.
Like I used to be like, oh, I have a really bad back day. Let me take like a half a pill. Like I would cut them up. So yeah, it's like it was just for like slight pain management, not
And
like
that's
oh I'm addicted and I'm gonna eat them like candy.
well, and I was taking them like candy for a while, but I never got addicted. Now I have a friend that is an addict. He's a heroin addict, so he takes one and it sets him right back.
Yeah.
But but it's such individual because, yeah, like for my neck pain and stuff like that, I can't take any actual painkillers because nobody will give them to me. So,
Yeah,
um,
unless you have something like super serious. Yeah, they don't. I'm like, oh,
now, now here's the other funny part. I have a medical marijuana card. Even at the pain clinic that I go to, they won't give me anything because I have a because that,
Yep.
according to the federal government, means I'm addicted. I have an addiction,
So I went to go actually I went to go apply
which is crazy.
for my wife and I went to go apply for our gun license so we can start getting our guns. I can't get one
Yep.
because even though by state law it's a medical, it's not legal through the ATF and federally, so therefore I am, because it's a controlled substance. I cannot.
Yep.
I said that's amazing. He goes, what? I said, Robin Williams said it best. Alcohol is a class 4 narcotic or a class 1, and marijuana is a class 4. So
It's
how does that make sense? He goes, alcohol is still legal. I said only because prohibition ended.
right.
Um,
That's why. That's why federally we need to lower it. It shouldn't
there
be a
is a
class one.
federal bill that hasn't been voted on yet from South Carolina to make it federally legal across all 50 states. Federally legalized marijuana.
The thing is,
So
is
the federal government can now then start taxing it. I said, you know what? If you do that and you tax it, no one's actually gonna give a shit.
no, no.
No one's gonna give a shit.
The thing is,
You're
is
gonna
and
allow us to grow it. We pay the tax on it when we buy the shit and we grow it, and as long as we get it for personal consumption, that's it. Or you buy the vape or whatever.
they're just trying to make something out of something that's not.
well, the thing is, it's because
It's a
of
reefer madness.
yeah, it was back in the 30s and 40s
Oh
after
God, I
Prohibition. They
remember
needed
watching that.
something. Yeah, they needed something. So
Shit jumps
so
out
they
the
took
window.
so they took this. They took weed, which is has less effects than alcohol, and basically demonized it and was able to push it through to make it a Schedule 1. Well, now trying to get it off of that Schedule 1, listen, I love my Republicans, for most of them in the Senate, but you guys need to get off your ass and actually pass
It's
this.
not the
And
Senate; it's the House. The House is the one that proposed it. Um, so that's where
even if it
it's got to
passes the
go
House, it
through.
won't pass the Senate. Even if it
I don't
passes
see
the
why
House,
it won't.
it
Honestly, I don't see why it's never gotten to the Senate. Like any other, the last time the Democrats
you're
proposed
echoing,
it.
Ryan.
Am I echoing? Why am I
Yeah.
echoing? That's weird.
Is it your? Oh, am
Am
I
I
echoing?
echoing
No,
now?
now you're echoing. Not
Am I
Ryan.
still echoing?
I don't
Check
think
your
you
phone.
weren't
Remember
echoing.
last time it was because your phone was hooked up to your
My phone's not
onboard.
hooked up. I made sure that wasn't hooked up.
My
Hmm.
phone's not even on. I mean,
Let me mute. I'm gonna mute everyone and then unmute us.
Woo!
Okay.
back
All right,
and to the left. Back
got it.
and to the left.
To the
Nope, you're
left, to the
still
left.
echoing.
Why am I didn't do anything different.
Okay.
God
Anyway.
damn it.
I don't hear you
All right.
echoing, so I don't.
Oh, maybe it's just me. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't hear
Anyway.
anybody echoing.
But no, so that's the thing that pisses me off is enough states now have legalized it that it should be legal federally, because you need to, you have these one, you have businesses in these states that trying to pay taxes, trying to you know get subsidies, any of that. They are. It's such a hassle for them to do it, and it's you can't put money in a bank because a bank is FDIC. So they put money in a bank, their bank can be frozen by the federal government on a whim. So you have these companies that is in these legal states that can't, are basically running everything under the table still because they have to, because it's too risky to put anything in a bank
But
or to do, to pay
they're also
taxes on
still
it.
doing, but they still also have to do small business taxes and everything because they're technically a business,
They
which
are a business, yeah.
makes absolutely no sense. But since we're talking about weed, Oregon State is running tests basically on hemp, the hemp block cell and compounds, to help fight COVID-19. Um, and they're finding very good statistics on it in the compound with the spike against the spike protein, to thwart all the infection or the disease progression. So basically, all it is it's amplifying the spike protein that's in you if you had the Moderna or the Pfizer shots. If you had Johnson and Johnson, you're fucked anyway. So whatever. Um, but the compounds have never been tested like this, so they're actually did a lot of the tests starting in South Africa because they're having the most, I guess, the most issues with the most reactions. Which, sure, great. Um, but they're characterizing the crown like protrusions into outer surfaces between COVID 2 and RNA strands that encode four major structural proteins, uh, the envelope membrane, nucleus, and the 16 monochorial proteins. So basically, what it is it's able to detect it and help you get the fuck over it sooner than later. Which I see no issue in that if they can prove it. But the FDA will
No.
never approve hemp or CBD or anything like that for anything because it's easier to make and cheaper.
Right. Well, and the thing
Big
that's
Because they
pharma
want
wants
to
their
the
have
money.
thing
their
about
cut.
this is with this is the cannabinoids, I think I said that right. Um there's so many of them. That's the thing. There's so many. All we ever talk about is THC and CBD, but there's like, I want to say like you know dozens, if not hundreds of them, different cannabinoids in there, and they all react to different cannabinoids that are in our body. That's what gets you high. That's how CBD takes down inflammation and
So
stuff like
they're
that.
using CBDA and CBGA for the testing.
Yeah. And
That's
um
interesting.
there's so much that's the thing is what people don't realize is this plant, the reason that it's psychoactive and has all this stuff is because it was basically a defense mechanism against predator, animals eating it. So it created all these cannabinoids that interact with mammal with mammals. And so I think there's a lot of that can be done with it. Everyone talks about taking CBD because it helps you sleep, it helps this, it helps that. But there's what people don't realize is there's not just one CBD. Like you said, there's CBDA, there's CBG, there's, all this
Yeah.
other types of cannabinoids in there that interact with different mechanisms in the body. Um,
All right.
And it also depends how you ingest it. If you take you smoke THC, you get THC, But if you ingest it, then your body metabolizes it into what is it called? 11-hydroxy THC,
Yeah.
which is like 5 times as strong. And as Joe Rogan says, lets you talk to dolphins.
Yeah, it's fucking fantastic.
And it lasts
I wouldn't
longer.
know, so
I mean,
So my first time taking a gummy. Okay. I took a gummy. The wife and the kid were gone for the weekend, so I took a gummy. I'm like, I'm gonna have this, and I eat the whole thing.
did you take the
And
full gummy or did you take half a gummy?
No, I was dumb, and I took the full gummy. And
So how was that chair that you sat in all night?
it was my bed. I was laying in bed, staring at the TV. Don't remember what was on, but I was staring at it, and I remember texting my friend because I just kept climbing, and I kept climbing, and I texted him, and I'm like, "Holy shit, man!" Like, asking him about it, and he's like, "Well, did you just take the whole?" He's like, "You didn't take the whole thing, did you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's a fucking gummy. Like, it's a little gummy bear. Who the hell doesn't take a whole gummy bear?"
yeah, that would make sense. It looks just like a gummy bear.
It looks like it had
It-
sugar on it.
it's-
It had sugar on it. It looked like a Sour Patch Kid. He's like, "Oh,
But it was.
I'm assuming
yeah,
he
I'll
did one
talk
of
to you
these
in the
things.
morning and see how you feel." Freaking high. And then I look over to my dog, and my black lab is staring at me, and I'm like, "Oh my God, she knows. She knows how high I am. Like, she's gonna
Did you have a
tell."
conversation with your dog? Did your dog talk back to you?
In my mind, I'm like, I'm having this conversation like, she's gonna tell my wife. She's gonna let my wife know, and I'm gonna be in trouble. My wife laughed at me so hard when she got home and I told her about this. And she's like,
The
"You're an
dog is gonna
idiot.
rat me out.
You're such an idiot."
But the dog did know. The dog did know.
I'm
Oh.
sure the dog knew. She was staring at me, and she wouldn't stop staring.
She's all like, "Are you okay? I'm not leaving you."
See, this is kind of wish you lived closer. We could just fucking sit here, fucking watch TV, fucking just
Eat gummy bears.
eat gummy bears.
Special gummy bears.
Oh, I do remember what was on. I was watching oh, Kelly, what's the show with the devil that we watch? Lucifer.
Lucifer.
Yes.
Oh my god, it's so great. I love that whole series.
Oh,
So
God.
Kelly's up here.
I figured.
Berating yourself, which doesn't
So-
happen very often, so I had to get in on it.
So do you remember when I took that gummy a couple years ago?
Which time?
Which time?
I remember the one.
Oh, you just got ratted out.
No,
Nice.
The gummy.
no. This was when you and Chase were at your mom's, and I decided to take a gummy, and I'm up here watching Lucifer, and I'm looking at the dog going,
See,
the dog at Ivy, and I'm going, she knows that I'm high. Like, she's gonna rat me out. Like, I was so worried you were gonna be pissed on how high I was.
Good thing you
And
weren't
then you
watching
come
like
home
the
and you
laughing
cartoon
at me about
episode of
being a
that.
dumbass.
I know, right? I want to make gummies, but my wife goes, "We have children, so you can't make gummies."
This is true facts.
Wait, what? I was talking with Kelly. What did you say?
So I actually I have the trays to make gummies, and all I have to do is go get the stuff. But my wife looked at me and she goes, "You can't make gummies. We have 2 children that love gummy bears."
Yeah, no,
I
that
said,
no,
"Oh, ooh." So that'd be bad.
yeah.
I hate to send my kid to
Yeah.
school and he'd be
Yeah.
tripping.
Well,
and
and
be
then
like,
I was telling them, I remember texting Mike that gave it to me, and like asking him like how much is in this, and he's like, "Well, you're only supposed to take half." I'm like, "It's a freaking little gummy. Who the hell takes half? Who eats?" They look like a Sour Patch Kid.
I take half.
Well, no one told me at the time, to take
Well,
half.
It didn't come with
You're an idiot.
instructions.
No, you know what it came in? It came in a little black plastic baggie
Whoa, no fucking shit.
that had a pot leaf on the
Fucking
front.
you realize how concentrated that THC is per gummy.
Yeah, I think he said it. I do now. I think he said it was something like I can't. I'm gonna way over. He said something like 1 to 200 milligrams per gummy or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds about right. And that's no lie. Yeah, you take half.
Man, you gotta like shave the gummy bear. You can get like 5 doses out of it.
exactly.
You
Yeah,
know,
right?
And the
gotta
worst part
take your
was is it
razor
doesn't
blade.
hit you right away. So I was almost tempted to take another one because
Oh, that would have been hilarious. You would have watched the paint melt off your wall.
I am so glad my dad did that though. Remember when we made brownies or cookies? Me and my dad had one, and
I want to make. I we had a work picnic at my work where we're cooking like, and I was like, man, I ought to bring brownies, and they were like, you cannot bring brownies in. I said,
oh no,
why? I said, but it would be fantastic. They'd be fantastic. Hey, there's a guy at my work. We call him Ned Flanders. He's a supervisor. He looks fucking like Ned Flanders. And I'm like, man, he'd be fantastic stoned, wouldn't he?
no, we were up at me and my dad. We're up and I took up some cookies, and I'm like, just take a bite, and because I infused it into the butter, and
I
so
need to get a butter infuser.
oh, you
I
can do it
really
in a
do.
crock pot.
Oh, can you?
Oh yeah, it's
Ooh.
easy.
You just need
Really
to do
easy.
it slow. You have to do it slow so you don't burn the butter. So yeah,
Right,
you could do it
so-
on low
So you
or
do it in a
warm.
crock pot. So the worst part is you got
One
to
of you two
decarb
need to
it
come
ahead of
up and
time.
show me how to fucking.
Yeah, I'll show you. You have to
infuse
decarb
butter.
it and then you put it in the crock pot. But anyway, so we I told them like take a bite and it's gonna take a little bit to hit. So we took a bite and we're working around and doing stuff and he doesn't feel anything after about 45 minutes, so he decided to eat the rest of the cookie. And then
I think
us
like,
in our
those are
stupid
like
state
slow.
decide
Those are
we're gonna go
slow
out on
but
the boat.
powerful.
We're gonna go out on the boat and drive around on the pontoon boat.
Best idea ever.
It was-
Nobody said.
Ever.
so we're driving around and all of a sudden it hits him while we're out on the boat. And it hits him like a ton of bricks. He's like, we gotta go in. So he drives in. I'm already feeling it at this point. He's really feeling it. He goes in, he misses the dock by
Oh,
like
no.
15 feet.
Oh.
So he not hit the dock, but like completely misses by like 15 feet. So we go and make another big circle and come around, misses the dock again. Come around, misses the dock. I'm like, let me do it. I go around, I miss the dock. Us two idiots.
I'm waiting for
about
someone
a
to
half
tell me,
hour.
we overshot the dock. The truck's in the lake now.
For like a half hour, we're driving in circles trying to dock the boat. And we keep thinking we're closer than we actually are.
But you're
We
not.
keep thinking that we're
And you
too,
don't wanna wreck
and
the
we
boat.
don't want to wreck the boat. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we keep thinking, so we keep missing. Eventually, we get close enough that I grab a rope and I jump off onto the dock because I'm an idiot. Thankfully, I didn't go in the water. I jump off and I end up, the boat is going away and I'm tugging on this rope. He doesn't think to put it into neutral. So the motor's trying to take it one way. I'm trying to pull it the other way.
Oh no.
Jason's gonna go fucking skiing with a tow rope.
This is why women live longer than men.
Yes, this is why
This
women
is
live
true
longer than men.
facts.
I
Oh,
can see it now. He's not gonna ski though. He's just
He's gonna be
bounce off
dragged
his
along.
stomach. He's just gonna be like, the boat's going and there's Jason. Thunk, 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 thunk.
I probably would have too. I would have been too stupid to let go of the rope. And but we
And then
ended up
there's gonna
getting
be
in, and
Kelly
we're like,
coming
okay,
down to
we're
the
going in, and
dock.
we're watching
What
TV,
the
and we
fuck is
literally, I
going
lay down on
on?
the couch, and we watched TV. It was over the air, so we watched like the Andy Griffith show for like the next like
No.
'cause that was all that was the TV would get for like the next
So
like 4 hours.
you want to hear some weird? All right. So a bunch of us we got stoned one time with my foster mom. My foster mom, I don't know what's fascinating about my sister's friends. They somehow decide to take their pants off and then leave. They leave their pants at my why I don't know. So my foster mom would go through the pockets, fucking dime bags of weed. She's like, my weed now, bitches,
I know you left it there.
right?
Possession is
So
9/10.
I would come home and she would see me. She goes, I got weed. I'm like, fuck yes, let's go. We sat one time on the bed. We were fucking stoned out of our mind, and we were watching Airwolf.
Airwolf, oh, I love that. It's so awful. It's great.
Yeah.
I'm watching it. I'm stoned out of my mouth. I said, How's a helicopter fighting crime?
Oh. He fell.
Oh.
You got attacked by cuteness.
Look at the puppy.
Oh, so cute.
So, oh god, I think with this we need to play some TikTok. All right. Okay, so first one is just some gruesome facts. I only have a couple. I'm not doing any Karens or anything. So some gruesome facts.
Gruesome Facts You Didn't Know, Part 85. In 2014, after watching X-Men Origins Wolverine, a teenage boy injected himself 3 times with mercury. He was attempting to convert his bones into metal, also allowing multiple spiders to bite him, hoping to receive the same powers as Spider-Man.
Oh, I so remember that. I
How-
thought that was the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life, but I was like,
I'm
Man,
sorry.
I hope it
Mercury
happens.
is not adamantium.
And the only way that you can get it is like in a thermometer, which they don't sell anymore. Like
Right.
you can't just be like, let me just go down to the drugstore and
Do
get
they
a
even
vial of
put them in
mercury.
thermometers anymore? I thought they like
No.
outlawed that.
No, they don't. They don't anymore.
Yeah.
I used
So-
to have one, but we don't anymore.
Okay, so you get mercury, you inject it into yourself,
Then you
and
get mercury poisoning.
3 times. Now, I know people used to take mercury, for like everything, syphilis and all that stuff, but they were ingesting it. Were they like, how do you survive that? That's a heavy metal in your
Yeah.
veins.
Yeah, you have to like go get detoxed. Yeah, because
Like,
that will kill you.
Could you imagine Kelly doing a surgery for somebody that injected mercury, like seeing that on the scope, on the C-arm or on the? I'm assuming it would show up.
Well, it depends because I don't know what what density mercury would be at. I don't know what. I mean, it's. Gosh, I don't even know. I want to say osmolality, but that's specifically with our man-made product that we used. Like it's a specific contrast. I don't know if it would actually show up, but if it's a heavy metal, it would show up at some portion, but I don't know what it would look like.
So like barium, that's something that you guys use for like ingestion and stuff like that.
Yes, you drink that.
That's a heavy metal.
Yeah, but it's also, I mean, the way it's made in a powder form, but then we also dilute that. So, but that is edible.
Yeah. Injected into the blood.
Directly into the
So
bloodstream.
okay, but here's the thing.
I
it
remember
gets
that story. I was
worse.
like, man, it would be awesome if the spider thing worked. I would love to be Spider-Man.
Well, here's the other part.
This is Daniela Liverani, and she was having nosebleeds for weeks on end, and she chalked it up to a bursted blood vessel from a motorcycle crash. When a dark object in her nose began moving, she knew something was wrong, and it turned out to be a 3-inch leech. She had been backpacking in Southeast Asia where she picked up the parasite. She thought it was only a blood clot.
Yeah, that
That's
happens.
just a no.
That's
Okay,
no, well,
so between that
That's a no.
in Asia, getting a leech up your nose, and there's that they talked about it on Grey's Anatomy, and I knew about it beforehand. The parasite or fish that swims up into your urethra if you
Oh, yeah.
swim in the
Yeah, no.
Amazon.
oh yeah, I've not seen a video, but yeah, there was a nature documentary or something.
Yeah,
like
there's
that.
a there's like a tiny
National
fish that
Geographic.
swims into your urethra if you go swimming in the Amazon. I am never leaving the U.S. again. Like, I don't
It's
know if
not
I
worth
ever-
it. It's just not worth it.
No. I'm not even sure. I'm not even sure I want to come visit you in Virginia because you guys have brown.
Yeah, and like wolf spiders and black widows and
Yeah.
It's no worse than going to Australia. Australia, everything is trying to kill you. So
Oh, they have
Oh,
funnel spiders.
Ryan,
that,
you remember
like-
the giant like spiders we had at Toys R Us? They were like literally like this big. I
Oh
was
my
just
God.
like, and then you would come and be like, Ginger, 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 come here, you gotta see this. And I'm like, what? And you
Yeah,
move the
we-
box,
it was,
and it's a giant fucking spider, and I'm all like, I hate you, and I punched you, and
yeah,
It's like,
it
I
was
hate
the-
spiders.
Oregon.
it
I
was
went out
the.
to,
Oh my God! Look what
to
I
the
found
desert.
out behind the bike rack.
Yeah, it's like big. Oh,
When I was
I
out in
hate- I
Oregon,
don't
they
like
have
spiders.
black widows out in Eastern Oregon, and I was at a hotel, and the first day there, as I'm in the bathroom, everything seems to happen while I'm going number 2. Now that I think about it for this podcast, so I'm going,
Yeah,
I'm dropping a deuce,
alright,
and all of
so-
a sudden I see a black widow crawl out from underneath the sink, and in my hotel. Freaked me the hell out, and like I'm like, I ain't touching that. I called up oh yeah, that's right, the giant wasps out there.
man, I just don't want to go to Oregon. There's nothing
fuck
good that you
Oregon.
have talked
There's
about.
nothing great in Oregon.
Nothing.
Yeah, Oregon's just
I called up the front desk. I'm like, you better send somebody up to kill this thing. And they're like, aren't you going to? I'm like, I ain't getting anywhere close. I'm not going in that bathroom again. And they're like, okay, we caught it. We're gonna go release it. I'm like, release it? I'm
I
like,
don't think
kill
they
that
can
fucker.
kill them.
And then
I
after
don't-
that,
I
I'm
don't
like,
think
well, if
they
there's
can
one in the
legally kill
bathroom,
'em.
I'm like I'm searching underneath everything in that hotel room. I'm like, I got my light on my phone. I'm like searching everywhere because I was afraid to go to sleep.
Oh
Um,
yeah, because they'll kill you.
Uh,
Yeah, I'm not a fan of
thankfully
spiders.
in Michigan, the only thing trying to kill you in Michigan is the weather
I mean,
and our governor. But the weather.
so I mean, it could be no better than trying to take someone's sperm and throw it up their hoo ha, but finding out there's hot sauce in it.
Yeah, Drake. Did you guys hear of this? Hear about
No.
Drake?
Oh,
Like I said, I
So-
don't listen to the
So,
news.
I-
I don't.
Oh no,
So
I
because-
no,
don't do
I
any.
I really don't give a shit for him either. But he was having a thing with a woman. They went to as he was disposing of his condom, he poured hot sauce in it.
So he makes a habit to make sure that the women can take his condom and inseminate themselves. He puts hot sauce in it. Now
So-
this TikToker is suing him for damages because she tried to have his baby.
Yeah, I was like, I said, unfortunately, you tried to take a dirty condom and shove that shit up there, knowing that it's orange on the inside.
Right.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys.
You
Don't
w-
have orange sperm. I'm sorry. That's just
That sounds like a major medical problem if you do.
yeah.
An Oompa Loompa.
It's
An
orange.
Oompa Loompa.
You got Frank's Red Hot up on your shit. Oh, I'm gonna
What
have
was
his
that?
baby whether he
I
likes
was
it or not.
I was watching because I can't sleep. I was watching a documentary, and they were talking about really weird punishments back in the day, and one of them was I guess the Romans did it, where adulterers or some sexual deviants, they would shove shaved ginger into their hoo-has and up their anuses.
I've never heard of that.
There's a
Thank God
name.
it wasn't me.
There was a name for it. I am going to look that up.
That's just
Be like, that is not how you cure a yeast infection. Just saying.
that cannot be comfortable whatsoever.
No,
It's
because
called
ginger
figging.
would
That's
burn.
what it is.
Oh my god.
It's called figging.
Oh, that's where the term came from.
Oh God. It's called finging or gingering. They have it shaped. I'm looking on Wikipedia. They have it shaped like a dildo. Oh God.
Well, ginger is a root, so you can like.
They whittled it. They whittled it to size. Oh God.
Could you imagine?
I guess it's now used in BDSM play. Oh God, people like actually want to have that done.
Yeah, no. That would.
The ginger, which
Hurt
is
like an
skinned and
SOB.
often carved into the shape of a butt plug, causes intense burning sensation and intolerable discomfort to the subject.
Can you imagine the whittling skills that you'd have for the main body and like the top portion, like for like.
Oh God. Oh.
You'd have to
I am
have a
clenching.
fairly
I am
large
clenching
root.
right now thinking about that.
What? How does this happen? I swear to God, this is the third time we have talked about shit going up people's asses.
Hey, I didn't bring it up. That is not me. And Andy's not here.
God damn it.
Okay. Okay.
Oh my
Next
God.
video. Next video.
Gruesome facts you didn't know, part
Sorry.
85.
Next video.
On today's episode of What Went Wrong, I bring you this.
This girl's trying to jump her car, and the whole thing is melting! Why are the jumper cables are straight up melting? Hold up.
Cables!
They're all
Don't touch them.
Somebody didn't hook him up correctly.
Yeah, I was gonna say
That's a whole backwards vibe. They had them on backwards.
Yeah, they had they had to have had the positive going to the negative and then the negative going to the positive on the opposite car. So basically it created this loop that heated up the wires.
Somebody fucked that up. Hey, has anyone watched Peacemaker?
Yeah, I
on
watched the first
HBO?
3 episodes.
Oh, there's 5 in now. That
Wasn't that a
intro was
movie?
fantastic.
Wasn't that a
Show, though,
movie?
by the way.
Well, Peacemaker was the character on the new Suicide Squad movie. Now they're doing a short series of just Peacemaker. And
Which one was he? Which one was?
that's the John Cena
John
character.
Cena. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I saw Suicide Squad and the second one, but it's been a couple months.
He's
so
the
I
one that
didn't-
wears the metal helmet.
Oh, okay.
Fucking doesn't make any sense why to wear the helmet. But when you watch the show, it kind of makes sense why he has a helmet now. But
Is he the one that said he would eat a bag of dicks for justice?
yes.
Yes.
Okay. I was just like, he's
Yeah.
all like, and they're like, why
I
would
still
there
think
be
the
a bag
best
of
part
dicks
that
on the
show
beach?
is the opening, though. I cannot skip through that opening, the dance.
Oh no.
opening.
Ginger, you gotta watch the opening.
I haven't
it's
seen the
nothing but-
series, so I'll have to
Well,
watch
you gotta
it.
watch the series. It's nothing but hip thrusts right in the beginning, just in the opening. It's just like it's disturbing but magical all on its own.
You're all like, it's like a train wreck. I can't look away.
Oh, it's exactly what that is.
The whole show is like a train wreck. Yeah, you can't look away, but it's awesome. But at the same time, it's like this is really fucking stupid. But I can't stop watching it. It's awesome.
You're all like,
I
why?
love the eagle. I love the eagle. John Cena's character has a Peacemaker. He has a pet eagle for his
Ugh.
sidekick, and
I still love.
it's
I think it's in the second episode where they framed his dad.
oh
So
god.
what was it? They had to change the license plate on its car.
Yeah,
And
change license plate, change fingerprints and everything, and it's like, and then you come to find out that the Peacemaker's father is some wicked Nazi called the
Yeah.
White Dragon, and it's like, fuck. Oh,
You're like,
so rather than changing it to like something random or someone that doesn't exist, they
no,
changed it to his dad.
fucking throws his father in jail, and
Yeah,
they're
the-
after these things called butterflies.
Yeah,
It makes absolutely no sense, but it is
butterflies are the
fantastic.
bad
it's
guys.
it's entertaining. It doesn't make any sense, but entertaining. No,
It
we
is very
just
entertaining.
It's weird because it follows like him trying to take down this team trying to take down the butterflies. Well, he's also trying to get laid by the other girl there, that keeps shooting him down. But
Yeah,
he
the hot wire.
yeah, Hotwire, and but that's so non sequitur constantly. Like you're like, wait, how did you end up? That doesn't make sense, and it's like
but it's a comic book. It's not supposed to make sense.
Oh, it has nothing to do with the comic book at all.
I never read it, so I wouldn't know. So
but it yeah.
Oh no, I don't think there was a full-on comic book of the Peacemaker in the Suicide Squad series, but
yeah, I don't
could be
know.
fucking wrong.
I don't know. Everything seems to be made from a comic book now, so that's why I say that. So I'm like, I don't know. Maybe it was a comic book.
Although I just
The-
watched Immortals because now it's on Disney Plus.
Yeah, I haven't seen
Oh,
that.
Eternals.
Eternals. I'm sorry, you're right.
Fucking
Eternals, not
Christ.
Immortals. The Eternals, and I wasn't expecting to like that movie. I think as far as MCU goes, it's not one of their
actually-
best. But the freaking ending,
I
when
actually haven't had a chance to sit and watch it, but the problem is I already know the whole landscape of it, so I'm not.
yeah,
It's not something that's gonna be like, oh my god, you say something, it's I'm about to watch. No.
You could probably
Well-
say something, and then I'd watch it and be like, "Oh yeah, we did talk about this," and I wouldn't even know. So
yeah,
I would
yeah.
totally forget.
Well, when you do watch it, you'll notice some of the after mid credit and after credit scenes that are going to make you go, "Holy shit!"
No, the last thing we watched was the Bourne series, except for we haven't watched like the last one, and then we watched that new the Matrix movie.
Oh,
Resurrection.
yeah, Resurrection.
Yeah, we watched that, and I tell people they're like,
The-
"We haven't seen it yet." And I said, "Don't have any expectations. Just watch it for what it is. That's
Yeah,
all
yeah,
you
that's what
can."
I keep trying to tell people that are saying, well, it sucks. It's not as good. I'm like, it's better than the third. Just
No, it's better than the second. Sorry, the second one was the hot garbage one.
the
It's-
third
the
one.
third
was
one
hot
wasn't-
garbage to me.
Oh no.
The
second one,
first
at
one
least-
was the only one that I liked, but
well, the first experience to me, but but then like watching this one, it's like, I mean, I appreciate what they came at it from to make it what it was, but don't expect it to be like anywhere near the original.
no. But I mean, it was good for what it was. I thought it was hilarious that he kept being prescribed the blue pills. I was dying.
Yes.
Oh man. He's like, "Do you need me to refill your medication?"
Yeah. So,
But yeah,
All
that's
anything else? We need to land this plane soon.
not it. I don't think
Uh,
there's
uh,
been. I
Joe
just wanted to mention
Biden.
the Matrix movie because I had seen it and it's like my nerd thing for the day.
If you haven't seen Injustice yet on
Mm-mm.
HBO, fantastic adaptation of the movie series.
I haven't seen it. No,
Of
I
No,
didn't
I
even know
haven't.
about it.
it's fantastic.
Oh,
Fucking
I
I'll
did
Joker
check
watch.
that
kills.
out.
Joker convinces Superman to kill Lois Lane because thinks it's dark side. Kills her and baby. Blows up Metropolis, and then decides to become god of the earth.
Hmm.
And then it goes downhill from there.
You're like, oh.
So I gotta ask, Ryan, what do you think the chances are of us having another Andrew Garfield movie, Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man? After this, Garfield, he's like, he's everywhere again.
You
Everyone
do
wants to
realize
have him.
that Andrew Garfield's stunt double for Amazing Spider-Man 3 has already been tweeting that he's wearing the suit.
Is he?
Yeah. Because of this, I think, and with all the critics and everything, I think um they greenlit the Amazing Spider-Man 3 to give him his third movie finally. But because so I don't know if you ever saw the Morbius trailer.
I did. Yes.
Okay, so remember on the wall where it says there's a picture of Spider-Man that says murderer.
Yes.
That's Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. And the only reason why I'm able to say this is because when you see No Way Home, Andrew Garfield says, I stopped pulling my punches. I got bitter. I got vengeful. He's the Spider-Man that started just killing his enemies.
Ah.
That's why they have him plastered that way. Um, so that means Morbius is in the same timeline as Tom.
Garfield in the same
Tom.
universe.
Yeah. Well, Andrew Garfield, Morbius, and Tom Hardy.
Oh,
The
Harding is
Venom.
in Garfield's universe.
Yep. So we may see now that Tom Hardy got
Venom
kicked back
with
to his
Spider-Man.
timeline.
Yeah.
He's gonna go here. He knows to go look for Spider-Man.
Right, because that was at the
No.
end of the. Yeah.
So that's gonna be, and the theory, mind you, and I wonder, hope this works when Shocker or Electro got set back after he got cured. He got sent back. The adaptation is that he is at the bottom of the clock tower catching Gwen Stacy before she died, making Andrew Garfield not hateful and bitter.
The hard
So
part
we may
is Gwen
see
Stacy didn't fall all the way.
she didn't, but his web, because he pulled,
Right.
didn't give and it snapped her. But Electrode's supposed to be right there, so he doesn't pull. So the theory is that Gwen Stacy is going to pick up the mantle of Spider Gwen or the Ghost Spider.
Spider Girl, yeah.
No, hers was always Ghost Spider because it's always the white pink.
Okay.
So that will be very interesting to see if that happens. But I think we're also going to get a Miles Morales.
We need
Tom
to get a
Holland.
Miles Morales one.
I
Besides
think
the
Miles
cartoon,
Morales is going to show up in Tom Holland's Spider-Man now that everyone forgot who he was. But I also saw that they're starting to film Secret Wars. So that's going to be interesting to see because they have the name Spider-Man on the cast, but they didn't say who.
Right.
So, is it going to be Tom Holland, or is Toby coming back? Andrew coming back? All three showing up. So
Could it be a triple threat?
it will be interesting because technically the only person that knows who Spider-Man is, Thor, Captain Marvel,
Yep.
and Nick Fury.
Well, wouldn't everybody that is a part of Guardian of the Galaxy, wouldn't they know?
An Iron Man would know.
I don't
know.
think they didn't know who Spider-Man was. They knew it was
they never met him
Spider-Man.
without the
They
mask.
actually didn't. They didn't get his name, so Peter Quill would not know that that Peter Parker is Spider-Man.
You know what? Now that I think about it, Captain Marvel wouldn't either.
Captain Marvel would. Captain Marvel was not on Earth when the spell was
she never
cast.
met him.
Yes, she did in Endgame.
Did she meet
when
him
they were
without his
passing the
mask?
glove around? Hi, Peter Parker. Do you have something for me?
I'm gonna have to rewatch that. I don't remember that part.
Oh yeah, it was when they were taking they were trying to transport the glove to the van before the van got destroyed.
Okay. All right, let's end
That's
this.
the famous words of Captain Marvel. Hi, Peter Parker.
All right. One last time, can you tell people how they can get a hold of us?
Website again, Fire Talk Radio. You can see us on Facebook also. Our web, so you can always email us at firetalknetwork@gmail.com. Phone number is 814-380-9820. Comment, whatever. Leave us a voicemail. You don't like what you hear on us and you want to question it. We can have that conversation. I'd rather have the conversation. But always and always, we'll see you next week.
All right. Well, I want to thank you guys for flying Fire Talk Radio. And as we make our descent here, we've got a little bit of a down, pushing us a little faster than we were expecting. And our landing gears are out. So we're going to be, it's going to be a little bit bumpy since you guys, your buckles aren't working. We replaced them with some ratchet straps, so go ahead and just kind of ratchet yourself in there. Maybe hold on to something. Definitely you with little kids, put them underneath the seat, kind of like a stowaway. If you can fit them in the overhead, that would be even easier. And be prepared for our landing. Thank you again, and have a nice day.
We can only count to 4. We can only count to 4. We can only count to 4. We can only count to 4.